Alright, I'm doing my presentation on Piece by Piece by Karen Chenoweth. A little bit about the author. She's an experienced educational writer. She is a senior editor for the Education Trust, and also she served as an educational columnist. I'm going to focus on two main points from the article. The first one is that teachers need to collaborate with one another, and they need to take time teaching. In other words, they need to really take time in figuring out their lesson plans and figuring out how they can help out students to their best needs. And then the second main point is there are rules of engagement and goals that you should make. There are certain rules that you need to do that I will focus on later in this PowerPoint, and goals that you should, how to make your goals that you need to make. I'll talk about teacher collaboration, which is to improve instruction for students and to ensure that all students learn. You need to make sure that all of them are learning and that they're not just sitting there and not doing anything. And no one teacher is an expert in all aspects of the curriculum. So you need to remember that not every student is perfect at every subject, and so everyone is probably going to struggle about one subject. So you need to remember when you're struggling that not everyone is understanding everything but all the subjects. Another thing is time. Teachers themselves, they must take time with students, effective and worthwhile. They need to make sure that their time is going well and that as the students are getting as much out of that time as they should, or even more. And they must have time to, outside of classes and whatnot, to think about their lessons and planning on what they want to talk about and what they feel that each student needs to learn, and observe each other's classes. It's a good thing to observe another teacher's class to see how she's doing it and how she comes about her lessons and teaching student to student, and seeing how you can improve or what you do more than the other teachers. Also, examine student work. It's important to examine their work so that you see where they are in their work and where they are in their learning and where they need more help in the work. Also, the last one, learn from colleagues and outside experts. It's a good thing to listen to people that you know that have taught before, or they know a ton about teaching, for example, professors or whatnot. Remember to take in what they say to you because it may become beneficial to you and may help you in the future of teaching. So, the rules of engagement. The first one I'm going to talk about is if you don't say it in the meeting, don't say it in the parking lot. So, for instance, you need to keep your mouth shut if you're not saying it in the meeting, and focus discussions on the things that the school can control rather than what it can't. And the very last one is focus on the specific objectives related to instruction. That pretty much speaks for itself, but you need to focus on certain objectives that are what you think are most important to the students' learning. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is goals. Goals is a really important thing as a teacher, and when you're teaching students, they need to be meaningful. Collaboration requires teachers to have meaningful things to collaborate about. So a goal is that you need to figure out what is really important to your students and what they need to learn, and to talk about that with other teachers and see what they have to say about that, and to collaborate together to figure out what the most important things are. And my last one is teachers need to keep goals that are reachable and meaningful. It's easy to have a goal, but they need to actually be reachable and meaningful to you. You can't have one that's really unrealistic, so it's important to have ones that are realistic and meaningful to you and will help you become a better person by reaching that goal. Thank you for this presentation.